Jamo. The history of Jamo began in Denmark in the late 1960s. Preben Jacobsen, a young carpenter from the village of Glingor, crafted cabinets for acoustic systems and sought to equip them with the best drivers available at the time. In 1968, he was joined by Julius Mortensen, an experienced businessman, and Preben's brother-in-law, who was involved in fish exports. In the same year, they officially registered their new company. The name Jamo is derived from the first syllables of their surnames, Jacobsen and Mortensen. The company had humble beginnings in a small workshop in Glingor in northern Jutland. Nevertheless, its growth was rapid. By 1970, the first Jamo factory had been built. 3 years later, the young company made its first appearance on the world stage by participating in the 1973 IFA International Electronics Exhibition in Berlin. By the end of the 1970s, Jamo products had gained popularity in the domestic market and began to spread beyond Denmark. By 1978, Jamo had produced its millionth speaker system, a very impressive milestone for such a young brand. Jamo speakers of the 1970s were distinguished by their Scandinavian approach to design and ease of use. For example, the early J-series models had a minimalist body made of natural veneer, walnut, rosewood, teak, covered with durable varnish. Jamo engineers implemented an interesting feature. The J-series speakers were equipped with mid and high frequency level controls, allowing the owner to finely tune the sound balance to the size of the room. In addition, overload protection was built into the circuitry. A special limiter automatically reduced the output power in case of overheating or clipping, protecting the speakers from damage. These innovative, user-oriented ideas helped Jamo stand out from its competitors at the time. In the 1980s, one of the company's key achievements was the introduction of its own CBR, center bass reflex, system, which reduced nonlinear distortion and provided cleaner and deeper bass reproduction. At the same time, engineers developed the IPPS, integrated push-pull subwoofer, configuration. This design more effectively dampened vibrations, ensuring tight bass without parasitic resonances and maintaining tonal balance across the entire range. Another notable solution of the 1980s was an experimental controlled high-frequency dispersion system. Jamo used a cluster of 5 tweeters synchronized via a special connecting structure, controlled dispersion tweeter system. This unusual multi-tweeter solution made it possible to significantly expand the directivity pattern and make the sound pressure distribution in the room more even, eliminating sharp directional peaks at high frequencies. By the early 1990s, Jamo had transformed from a local manufacturer into one of the leaders in the European hi-fi market. In 1991, the company was the first among European audio companies to receive ISO 9001 quality certification, confirming its commitment to manufacturing standards. In the first half of the new decade, the company introduced the Jamo THX1 surround sound system, one of the world's first speaker sets to fully comply with the strict requirements of the THX standard. This set won high industry awards. At CES 1995, it was awarded the Innovations 95 Prize for Design Excellence and Engineering, and at the Berlin IFA in the autumn of 1995, the Jamo THX1 received the European Award for Best Home Theatre Acoustics. Jamo home theatres brought the company worldwide fame, and the acronym THX became associated with the brand. Jamo proved equally successful in classic stereo hi-fi. In the 1990s, several important speaker lines were launched on the market. The first was the Flagship Concert Series, which set a new benchmark for the company. The Concert 8 model, a two-way bookshelf speaker, and the larger Concert 11 floor-standing speaker became the reference models for the series. Jamo used high-quality components in these models: a 1-inch C's Sonotex dome tweeter, magnesium diffusers for the low mid-range drivers, and proprietary copper phase alignment cores. The front panel of the concert speakers was made of a special low-resonance composite material and had a sleek black finish. The concert series was renowned for its crystal-clear highs and precise, fast bass, combined with impeccable Scandinavian design. At the same time, Jamo released the Classic series. It included, for example, the Classic 6 and Classic 8 models, which were modern speakers for their time, designed to satisfy hi-fi enthusiasts. One of the pinnacles of engineering excellence in the 1990s was the unique Oriole acoustic system. These floor-standing speakers, measuring almost 2 meters in height, were developed from scratch, without regard for budget, in an atmosphere of complete creative freedom for the engineers. The monumental Oriole speakers produced truly expansive sound with a particularly impressive bass foundation. Each pair of Oriole speakers was made to order, with the name of the specific owner engraved on a metal plate, confirming the exclusivity of this top-of-the-line model. For the more mass-market segment in the mid-1990s, Jamo introduced the Konit series, which struck a successful balance between affordability and high-quality sound. The 1994 Konit line included 6 models of acoustic systems, ranging from compact 2-way bookshelf speakers to large 3-way floor-standing speakers with 8-inch woofers. All Konit speakers were distinguished by their austere, timeless design and solid construction. The thick MDF cabinets ensured low vibration and thus clear, uncolored sound. Each model used a specially designed low-frequency driver with a powerful voice coil that could withstand high loads. High frequencies were reproduced by a soft dome tweeter. Its voice coil was placed in magnetic fluid for effective cooling and control at peak power levels. In addition, Konit speakers were equipped with massive gold-plated terminals that allowed connection with both bare large-gauge cable and banana plugs. Thanks to these solutions, the Konit series earned a reputation as reliable and highly musical mid-range speakers in its decade. By the mid-1990s, Jamo had surpassed many of its European competitors in terms of production scale. In 1994, Jamo officially became the largest manufacturer of loudspeaker systems in Europe. At its Danish factory, the company produced over 1 million speakers per year and employed more than 400 people. The products were shipped all over the world. By the 30th anniversary in 1998, total sales exceeded 11.5 million speaker systems, which were sold in more than 80 countries. The late 1990s and early 2000s were a turning point for Jamo. Despite its past successes, the company's business began to feel the pressure of global competition. The emergence of numerous manufacturers of inexpensive electronics in Asia and a general decline in interest in expensive stereo systems led Jamo to optimize its costs. Gradually, the main production was moved from Denmark to factories in China, a process that was completed around 2004. Meanwhile, brand consolidation intensified in the market, and it was time for major changes in the company's structure. In February 2005, Jamo lost its independence when the brand was acquired by the American corporation Klipsch Audio Technologies. The deal had strategic goals. The Americans gained a well-known European brand with a developed distribution network, while Jamo gained access to the resources of a large audio holding company and financial support for further growth. The company was transformed into a subsidiary of the Klipsch Group and continued to operate as a separate brand, but under the management of its new owner. It was decided to focus Jamo on designing affordable speakers with a signature Scandinavian style. However, integration into a large American holding company affected the brand's positioning. While Jamo excelled in the high-end segment in the 1990s, after 2005 the focus gradually shifted to more mass-market solutions, home theaters, soundbars, in-wall speakers, and budget bookshelf and floor-standing models for the wider public. The former status of a hi-fi legend began to fade. Klipsch never managed to restore Jamo to its former glory as an industry leader. Nevertheless, Jamo did manage to produce several notable models during this period. In 2006, the company introduced the unusual flagship Jamo R909 speaker, a bold experiment that broke with industry traditions. This floor-standing model was designed according to the open baffle principle, without a closed enclosure and with an acoustically open construction. In fact, the R909 was an elegant curved panel 43 mm thick with mounted drivers. Two 15-inch woofers with lightweight paper cones were responsible for the bass, working in antiphase and compensating for vibrations. The mid-range section featured a 5.5-inch magnesium driver with a patented neodymium motor, while the high frequencies were reproduced by a soft silk tweeter. The designers of the R909 managed to solve the main problem of open systems, the lack of bass in the absence of an enclosure, by using large bass drivers with a long stroke. The European Imaging and Sound Association, EISA, named the R909 Best High-End Speaker of 2006-2007. By 2014, after almost 10 years as part of the Klipsch Group, Jamo engineers decided to breathe new life into the famous concert series. The new flagship Concert C10 and Concert C9 lines, the so-called Concert 2014 series, were launched on the market. Renowned British industrial designer Kieran Dunk was brought in to develop the design. The new models featured elegant curved side panels that widened towards the center of the cabinet, Dunk's signature aesthetic touch. The top-of-the-range C10 series was finished with high-quality veneer under a glossy lacquer, giving it an expensive and prestigious look. The more affordable C9 was slightly simpler in appearance, with a vinyl finish and straight cabinet shapes, but the front panel was the same as on the higher-end models. In terms of acoustics, the updated concert speakers incorporated all the accumulated experience, HCCC, hybrid composition conical cone, diffusers with a hybrid composite structure, LDS, long displacement surround, suspensions with increased amplitude to reduce distortion, ADW, anti-diffraction waveguide, horns for tweeters, and magnetic systems with TDR, tweeter distortion reduction, technology for clear highs. Thus, even as part of a large corporation, Jamo has managed to release products that combine the Danish warmth of its signature sound with modern market requirements. By 2018, the 50th anniversary, the Studio 8 was available, offering stylish and affordable solutions for stereo and home theater. It is noteworthy that the Studio series once again became a marketing name. While in the 1990s it was used for popular budget speakers, such as the Jamo Studio 170, in the 2010s the company used this name for a whole range of models. They were distinguished by their modern design and readiness to work as part of a Dolby Atmos system, the ability to install modules on the upper edges of the enclosures. The company marked 2018 as an important milestone, half a century since its founding. The brand approached this date with an impressive legacy, but also with an understanding of the need for change. In the following years, the parent company, Premium Audio Company, a division of Vox, set a course to optimize its brand portfolio, and the less profitable brands were cut. As a result, the decision was made to part ways with Jamo. In 2024, Klipsch, or, more precisely, Premium Audio Company, which owns Klipsch, sold the Jamo brand to a third-party investor. The buyer was a group of individuals associated with the Chinese companies Cinemaster and Rayleigh Acoustics, Shenzhen, a long-standing manufacturing partner of Klipsch. The new management promised to restore Jamo's originality. They announced their intention to revive the Danish roots of the company. Almost immediately after the change of ownership, Jamo's activities picked up noticeably. The release of new speaker models reflecting the updated philosophy began. In 2025, the revamped Jamo presented its first completely new development, the C707PA MK2 active stereo system. These are compact two-way bookshelf speakers with a built-in 65-watt Class D amplifier, designed for use as a multi-purpose home system. The model combines the brand's signature minimalist style with rich functionality. It supports wireless Bluetooth connectivity, including aptX HD codec, HDMI ARC input for TV, USB-C, optical, 3.5mm analog input, and even a switchable phono-line RCA for connecting a turntable. On the acoustic side, the C707PA MK2 utilizes proven Jamo technologies, a 5.25-inch mid-bass with an HCCC cone and long-throw LDS suspension, a proprietary aluminium phase plug for reduced distortion and fast attack, and a 1-inch tweeter with a waveguide for even sound distribution throughout the room. Today, Jamo is once again active on the global market. The brand offers a wide range of acoustic solutions, from classic stereo speakers and subwoofers to multi-channel home theater systems and in-wall speakers for interiors. The new models combine Scandinavian design with modern technology. Production facilities are now mainly concentrated in Asia, but development and acoustic design are carried out with an eye to Danish traditions and with the participation of an international team of engineers. Thanks to the efforts of the new owners, the brand has maintained its continuity and presence in the market. Perhaps Jamo is no longer as often associated with premium systems as it was in the past. Fortunately, however, the company continues to confidently produce speakers of a very respectable standard. In addition, the brand has retained its style and virtually all of its proprietary technologies. Well, that's it for this video. Don't forget to support the channel in any way you can. Thank you all very much.